What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast and trade setups video for March 17th, 2019. These videos are designed to show you my outlook for the upcoming week on specific pairs that currently have my interest. This gives you a front row seat week in and week out as to how pure price action analysis can predict big market moves before they happen. Before we get started, I have to say the growth, support, and feedback from the channel has been incredible. Subscribers to the channel have been sharing some of the awesome successes they're having, and I'll tell you what, it does nothing but motivate me to want to do more for the community. So thanks for sharing, everyone. Like it said, success breeds success, and it's my goal to have every single viewer on here see a positive, discernible difference in their trading. And it's my hope that many more of you won't hesitate to share your successes on the channel as you experience them. As you know, this channel's focused on teaching you the one and only thing that really matters in trading, and that is price. So ditch the indicators, clean up your charts, and let's get into it. Welcome to Price Action Nation, where we help you go from indicator overload and analysis paralysis to finally trading with clarity and confidence. Here we focus on helping traders become independently profitable by focusing on pure price action. So if you're new, please support the channel and consider subscribing. There's more pairs than ever that need covering this week, so be sure to watch this video in its entirety so you don't miss out on any potential setups. To get started for the week, we're going to be moving things in alphabetical order like we did last week, which brings us to the Aussie CAD. The Aussie CAD's been on the radar for the past couple of weeks, and boy, it is right at a make or break moment right now. As we're at the top of this range, I am ultimately expecting this to move higher. As you guys know, these videos are not designed as trade signals, but more so as an outlook, more so the directional outlook and bias that I have on these currencies. I currently am in a long trade that I've been holding for the past couple of weeks, and because my outlook is overall bullish, it is a trade that I really want to hold on to and not close out just yet. Doing so would be really quite premature. We are coming up against quite a bit of resistance, as you can see right across here in this area right here. This is the daily chart. So we've got this trend line as well, so there's a lot of stuff in the way. If the Aussie Bulls decide to jump in, we could see a really nice pop on this to the upside. If not, chances are we're going to see another leg back down, which, you guys, is no big deal, because if price does move back down lower, that's going to give us some really nice discounted prices and some really nice levels to get back in and establish a position back to the upside. Diving down to a 1 hour chart now, down to a smaller time frame, giving us a little bit more detail here. Last week, as price was coming down to the bottom of this range, I was expecting it to head higher. As you can see, price came down and of course has been going up really nicely ever since. Now is not the time to get in long. It's also not the time to get in short, in my opinion. It is a time to wait. It is a time to be patient, and it is a time to be planning. In the event that this does come down again, you're going to know exactly what to do and what to be looking for. Aussie Yen 4 hour chart. What you're going to see as we cover a lot of these yen pairs is some very similar structure in the market. Aussie Yen has been coming up very nice. Wonderful compliance to the upside with this trend line. And as we approach the top of this range here, approaching this high 79, 80-ish handle, I'm going to be on the lookout for shorts at that point. Try to capture this nice wave to the downside there. In 1 hour chart, you can see we had, like I was saying, just some beautiful compliance by the market. This wonderful trade setup that happened towards the end of last week, with price again resuming this trend for some additional upside for the short term. However, if you're not already in long, longs are not the trade of choice at this point. And again, keep an eye out for price to get up to these levels, from there to be shorting. Aussie Kiwi 4 hour chart. As many of you know, this is a pair that I'm very excited for. One of the most excited trade setups in my opinion right now in the market, one that I'm currently established in. from our weekly Forex forecast video 2 weeks ago. If you go back and watch that, this is one of the highlighted pairs. In fact, I gave exact and precise entry points on exactly how I was going to be trading this. And for those of you who watched, you know that I got in a position here at this 103 handle long as outlined in that video. I'm currently holding and will be holding that even if price does go lower. I'll be looking to scale into and add to that position because I am a long-term bull on this. If we move out to a daily chart, I want to show you this really aggressive impulsive bullish wave that we had back in the spring of 2015. You guys, it's a wave like this, something comparable to that is what I'm anticipating here, which is why this is not some short-term scalp trade for just a few pips. This is something that's very substantial, worth holding on to and worth having some patience in my opinion. Aussie dollar 4-hour chart, no surprises here. Again, long-term bull on the Australian dollar versus the US dollar. We may see price come back down one or two more times again, making some new lows before we do get the really nice big upward move that we're expecting. I am holding onto a long on this right now, and if the market gives another chance, I'll be looking to add to that. But for the time being, just being patient and waiting for the market to do its thing. CAD Yen 4-hour chart. This gives you a big picture eagle's eye view of the CAD Yen since the beginning of 2019 and the structure it had been respecting. A couple weeks ago in the weekly outlook video that I posted, I was predicting this wave down, and of course from the top of this marked off area here, price started to fall through the sky like a brick, almost 300 pips to the downside. I know I had at least one of our viewers reach out with a screenshot of his account showing the capture of this move, so kudos to him for being able to capitalize on that. However, what I want to do is dive down to a smaller time frame. We're going to jump down to an hour. Alright you guys, now this is an hour chart on the CAD Yen. As price was progressing higher and higher and higher, towards the end of the week we had this really strong impulsive surge to the downside. And as you can see, I'm sort of expecting the market to correct a little bit further and deeper, and if it does in fact do that, I'll be on the lookout myself to get in short on this for this next wave down. Euro CAD, my outlook on this is bullish. I'm only interested in looking for longs at this point. For a number of weeks, price had been progressively making these series of lower lows and lower highs with this established trend line in the making. And then we had a strong impulsive break out to the upside, followed up with this move back down, and then a lot of sideways action. If we do get price pulling back deeper, I'll be on the lookout and considering to get in long. For me, I see anything down to the 150 handle and sub 150 as a nice area value where I will be considering getting in long. Euro franc daily, my outlook on this is bullish. I'll only be looking for buy setups at this point. Let's go down to a 4-hour chart. Any moves lower I'll be seeing as opportunities, consider getting in long. So on the lookout for buy setups at this point. Outlook is bullish. Euro pound 4-hour chart. My outlook on the euro pound is bullish, and as you recall last week when we started this video, price was sitting right up here and just as expected came right down to this level, and from here this is where I would be looking to get in long. In fact, I'm already in a position from the 8,500 level. Currently holding at the moment and really anticipating a really nice wave to the upside. If we move out to a daily chart, you can see just how nice the upside on this, even if all we do is come back up to the top of this range, that's 300 to 400 pips of profit. Not to mention if we break higher, you can tack on a couple extra 100 pips there. So for that little bit of risk, my friends, beautiful upside, fantastic reward. It's not every day that you get to see trade opportunities like this that can potentially gains off of one trade that can be really quite handsome. Euro yen 1-hour chart. For the time being, I'm bearish on this. In fact, I did enter a short trade at the end of last week. Posted it on the channel. Hopefully some of you saw that. That is my outlook. I'm holding on to that. and again, for a little bit of risk to my account, some really nice upside. Euro Kiwi, this is one that's been on the radar for a few weeks. I'm also in a long position currently on this pair as well, and this is the wave I'm looking to capture, hoping to get, and until this structure changes, this is what you can expect to be on the radar. Lots of upside, almost 1,000 pips profit potential here realistically. And just to give you guys some perspective and future outlook, if and when this wave does happen, up here is the point in which I'll be looking to get in short, which should in fact be bigger than the wave up. Driving down to a 30-minute chart, I actually do like what I'm seeing on the smaller time frame as well. If you're not in on this pair, you may get an opportunity to get in long. To me, if I was not already in this, I would be keeping an eye out for price to get back down to these levels here. We got this really nice ABC correction currently underway. Once we get down to this area, that's where you'll be looking for price to take off again. Euro dollar 1 hour chart, it's a bit of a make or break for the euro as far as the downside goes. If it's going to drop, it needs to drop now. And if I wasn't already in the euro yen, this is one that I would consider getting in short at the levels that it is right now. We could see price go to the upside. I'm not very interested in going long on the euro right now just because of the structure on the daily. Here's the daily chart on the euro dollar. This 5-wave move to the downside, for those of you who have been following for a while, will know that this was really quite perfectly predicted to the downside. It doesn't always happen that way, but in this case, really great forecast to the downside as expected. Last week I was expecting price to take off from the levels it was at. That's exactly what it did, was continue up and up and up for the week. And now at these levels, I'm not too keen on getting in long. I'll actually probably look to short if we do end up getting up here to this 1400 handle. Eventually what I am expecting is a break out of this structure to the upside. It may happen here, or it may happen after an additional leg down here. At any rate, I'm eventually expecting this bigger wave up, breaking out of this price pattern here. Now to move on to the pound pairs, this is the pound Aussie on the daily. Price is at a level now where I'll be on the lookout for shorts. Here's the structure on the daily that you can see. If we go down to a 4-hour chart, we'll get a little bit more detail here. Price has been coming up and up and up. A couple weeks back, we had a trade call from these levels, riding this nice wave to the upside here. Not too keen on the longs at this point. As you can see, we've got this long-term rising wedge formation. I'll actually be really interested in getting in on any shorts up here at the tops of these areas. I would actually look to get in long down here at these areas here just because there is so much wonderful support. Price has been really bullish over the last several weeks and months. It'd be really tempting to get in long here, which I'll definitely keep that option on the table when price gets back down here. Pound CAD daily chart, outlook is bearish. Price could continue to push higher and higher, and it probably will, but I'm going to be holding off the urge to get in on anything long up here just because there really isn't a lot of value. The pound is really quite expensive in these areas, so bearish outlook. Be on the lookout for short setups. One great way to use these videos as an outlook is if you've already got trade setups or indicators or some system that you like to use to enter trades, use it. That's one way. I'm not telling you what to do, but that's one way to approach these videos, is to use them for an overall outlook and then use your particular setup that you're comfortable with to enter your trades. So for me, I'll be looking for sell setups. Pound Chief daily, no different here. Bearish outlook, be looking for sell setups at this point. If we go down to a 4-hour chart, you're going to see this also this price structure that we see price respecting and moving within. So anywhere up in these areas of resistance, if price is going to take off and get up to those levels, I'll really be on the lookout for any sell setups at that point. NZD CAD 4-hour chart, I'm in this short already as well. As you know, we've been expecting this bearish wave. Price has been really resilient in doing so. Lots of sideways movement. However, we did have this nice impulsive wave down. We're in a bit of a correction here. If we see price come back up one more time and kiss this area, if you're not in this, look to get in. At least I would look to get in at that point and strap in for this wave to the downside. Kiwi Franc daily chart. Want to start on the daily just to give you some high-level context as to what we're seeing so that you can see these levels we're at with price currently. Gonna drive down to a 4-hour chart. You can see even more so how price is creating this price formation going back since January. So price is now getting tighter and tighter. The longer the market consolidates in this range, the greater the likelihood the break, when it does happen, is going to be a lot more robust and aggressive. Something probably akin to this wave to the downside was here, we'll see over here as well. This is a trade I've really got my eyes closely on and I'm looking forward to. Kiwi dollar, I am expecting this wave down before the bigger wave to the upside. So if we get price to come back up here north of 6,900 at the top of this area of resistance, I'll look to go short. I'll be considering short positions from there, riding down to here. However, once we get down to this area of interest, as you can see, that's a price point from which I will be considering longs. Dollar franc daily chart. Price, I'm hoping we get an additional wave up. I'm confident we will. If we do, price is going to be at some really juicy levels to look to go short. Lots of downside, lots of wide open spaces for this thing to run. If and when it does, and we come down and tag these lows here, that's an area that I'll be switching gears, looking to be going back up to the long side for another wave, something like that. Dollar yen 4-hour. Here's your big picture view of the dollar yen, how it's been moving all of 2019 thus far. 1 or 2 weeks ago, it was either last week or the week before, had a beautiful trade call to the downside on the dollar yen, timed it perfectly, nice wave down. Ever since then, price has been moving quite correctively back up. We might see a bit of a pop to the upside. If we get that, again, I'll be looking for shorts once more to ride it at least back to the bottom of this structure, but really holding out for and waiting for this bigger wave to the downside, this to break out. There's a very, very high likelihood that we're going to see this structure break down to the downside with a lot of force when it does. And of course, that's the big question. When is it going to do it? Nobody knows, but what I can say is I'm going to be taking every opportunity presented to get in short with some tight limited risk, which of course is going to come in the form of price getting back up in here for me to look to get short in again. We could always see price break down from where it is right now, break down out of this support. If it does, that's also a good sign. Be patient and wait for the next correction. So if we get a break like this, simply wait for a correction and then look to jump in on the next wave down after that correction. Aussie franc, I left this one out at the beginning. This is another one that's looking really, really nice for some bullish upside here. Of course, up at these levels, you don't want to be considering any longs. Just be patient and wait. I wouldn't even consider any shorts, although you could to the downside and exploit this short-term downside play. However, if it does come down, I'll just be simply patiently waiting to get in at these new lows at a better price to go long. And what's nice about this area down here is, as you can see, we've already got some pre-existing resistance, which is going to line up really nicely with this existing support. So a good confluence of support from this level to consider getting in long. And to end this week's weekly outlook video, we're going to end things on cryptocurrency. It's been a while since I've showcased any cryptos. Today I've got Ripple in front of you here. Definitely upside to consider here. No downside. Do not be looking to short this. Upside is what you want to keep your eye on. That's what I'll be keeping my eye on for. Even more than that, I would recommend having more of an investor's mindset with this, just because the upside is so rich. Chances are you're going to have to hold on to this for a much more longer term horizon anyways. However, this is the wave I'm expecting ultimately, and it looks like, based on what I'm seeing on a smaller time frame, on the daily chart I'm ultimately expecting the big upside wave, which could happen very, very quickly. However, on the 4-hour chart, we've got this symmetrical triangle at play, this really nice symmetrical consolidation with price. So price is going to have to break out of this right now. It's coiling up like a spring, ready to go. Upside is the outlook and is the view, and hopefully some of you will be able to take advantage of that. If you're ready to go from floundering to flourishing, from confusion to clarity in your trading, then you need to join the free Price Action Nation Telegram channel to get trade ideas and analysis sent straight to your phone. Don't forget to support the channel by subscribing and clicking that bell notification so you're always in the loop on the freshest market analysis and trading tips. I want you to see the markets with clarity, keep trading simple, no more indicator overload, and finally achieve profitability. Are you in? Question of the day. What do you feel is your greatest hurdle holding you back in your trading? Leave your answer in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to get to every single one of those. That's going to wrap things up for this week's video. I hope you found it helpful. Smash that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, join us here every single week, and until next time, best of luck in your trading.